Hello everybody, Dave here. For the next episode of Dave Gets Wood, where I'm going to have a look at the bigger pieces and try and tidy up these notches, and yeah, just basically get those cleaned up, because yeah, so looking at it, we've got these two big pieces that need those areas cleaning up, so we can get them cleaned up and then we're just into the point of well, we're ready for carving and then stripping. So I'm going to try and do that today. But we'll see how we get on, because it's been a weird one. I've not slept well at all, and I know I don't sleep well a lot, but yeah. I mean, weird dreams with bad sleep and waking up feeling like shit. Waking up gasping for air. Not very pleasant. So not sleeping well. And the boot of the car's been doing me head in. Obviously I mentioned that I fixed the leak in the boot, which I had. And then I've basically been waiting for it to rain for a prolonged period of time, which it did do, and I'd left some paper towels in the boot, and when I checked them where I'd done the repair was fine, no water, which was good, but just in the left corner where I'd first had a bit of a water leak, which I thought I'd fixed, fucking soaked, so I was not happy. I could tell where it was coming in from as well, on the plastic anyway. So I was not happy with that, because the amount of time I've spent on the boot is ridiculous. So I dried that all up, and the only thing I could really think of doing at the time, because it was still raining, was to readjust the seal that goes all the way around the boot. So I just pulled it up a little bit to see if I could move it along, and to be honest, it did move quite a bit. Not loads. I mean, the first time I moved it moved about 6 inches. Or should I say, as I was working it around, I ended up with a lip going up that was about 6 inches off the actual frame of the car. This time it was only about 2 inches, inch and a half, 2 inches. But it was enough that made me think, well, maybe that was out of position. So I moved that, and then I'd sort of built myself up for today, because it was raining again last night. I built myself up today to be ready to take the interior apart again. Went and checked it, dry. So if it is from this rubber seal, I've no fucking idea how it's getting in. Or even how it's going, excuse me, from getting in wherever it has been to now not. I really don't know, it's pissing me off. But at the moment it's dry, so yeah. Right, let's see if we can clean up the ends of this a bit, shall we? It's going to be a bit awkward given the length of this. And also I haven't really got the space to wedge it against the wall. If I could wedge it, I'll be able to, yeah, put it against that. Okay. Now I might damage my wall, but, and I'm kind of facing the wrong way round, but Now what I found on the piece I was working on the other day was that by knocking just a few little grooves that way did help me to crack off the wood that's on there. I know you can't really see what I'm doing because it's quite far away, but at least you know what I'm trying to do. Or at least you should know. I suppose the thing is, if I move the camera closer, you're still not going to see anything because it'd be vibrating too much from me hitting the hammer. I'm going to try and get as much of this off as I can like this before I go for sanding. I mean, I've got my Dremel ready, but I'm not going to use that unless I really need to. While I'm doing this, I do kind of have to be careful and make sure I don't go hitting this too hard and splitting the wood that I need. That glue's definitely doing its job there. Touch deep there. glued on very fucking well. That's glue there, not wood. Sanding and trying to get into it. I'm going too deep. Let's flip it around. I kind of feel like an old-fashioned fucking carpenter here. Normally though they would have done this with a chisel, I would have thought. I suppose if I had no saws and wanted to create this groove, however many hundreds of years ago, this would probably be how it would be done, or something similar. I mean, if you used an axe, it'd be uncontrollable, but you may use an axe blade and a hammer. I've been having a few ideas of the resin pattern I'm going to do on the top of the table. I'm still not wanting to do a river table as such, but I did have an idea of a style. I don't know if you really want to go with. I've still got some wood on there I need to take off. But yeah, one of the things I was thinking of doing with the design was kind of like a lightning strike kind of pattern from one end to the other, sort of going from big to spread out a bit. Then I thought, well, maybe that's going to end up being a lot of potentially very, very narrow things. So I then thought, well, I don't want to do a river table, so I don't want to carve out like a big section in the middle or anything like that. But then I thought, well, what about doing something a bit different? So imagine this is the table, but it's square. Imagine if there was an area in the middle, there was like a pond, and there was branches breaking off. And I thought, that might not be too bad. Could be interesting. Now it might be one of those things I'll have to perhaps draw a design and see what I think. maybe even try drawing it on the computer to get a visual representation of what it'd be like. But I thought it could be an interesting twist on a river table. So instead of a river table, it'd be a pond table, but without fish. Show you what it is I'm trying to do here. Okay, so on here, there's obviously a lot of different colours in this area. This side is mainly just glue, but on this side, wherever it's really light, that is the wood from the piece that goes in here. So what I'm trying to do is basically get all of that off, so that I'm left with just seeing the wood that is here, basically. So hopefully I'll show you again in a few minutes and you'll see the difference. So although you can't see it much right now, you will, hopefully, if I don't fuck it up. Let's give that a little notch. Might help me just get in there. It will come off, that bit's coming. I just have to mat it from this side. Again, I know you can't see what I'm talking about, but that this is something I've ever really done before in this kind of way, but I must admit, I'm kind of enjoying it. Okay, it's fiddly and it's fucking awkward, but I mean, I could so easily just get a fucking power tool on it, but I fear that if I did that, I could go too far. I mean, I could go too far with this, but it's a subconscious thing of making myself do more, maybe. I know I've not quite been myself recently. I mean, I don't really know how, well, I know how to explain it, but it'll just sound fucking stupid. But, I mean, okay, other than the boot pissing me off, there's nothing really wrong. But, I don't know, I just feel sort of numb to, I don't know, not, I wouldn't say I would say numb to anything specific, but it's kind of like days just go by. It's like, well, I eat, sleep badly, and then I'm awake badly, and I eat and then I sleep badly. Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm okay, but at the same time I just feel very numb. I don't know whether it's loneliness or, I mean, it's one of those things. I've never really been in need of needing someone, but I suppose with the way the world has been in the last couple of years, literally just then, the thought process going through my mind of, you know what it might actually be, is that I've been absolutely fine being single. It's been a choice, right? And I know some people think that's weird, but it is. It's just, it's been a choice. But with drinking more, when I have been drinking, I don't know. Maybe that's when I miss certain situations with the ladies. Maybe that's why it never really bothered me before, because I wasn't drinking and feeling that way. See if we can get a bit of this glue off here. It'd be easier to sort of knock the glue off than try and sand it off, because when you sand it, it just warms it up, and then instead of it just coming off, it just goes fucking gloopy. It spreads rather than comes off. Definitely something sort of rewarding about doing this like this. Gone in a bit deep there. Well, the rest of that I'll do with a sander. Because to try and get the rest off, I'm gonna, well, not sander, but with sandpaper. The rest is, I'll cause more damage. Okay, so looking at that end now though, hopefully you'll notice that instead of it having lots and lots of light patches, there's much fewer. It looks more consistently like there's a piece of wood there, a piece of wood there, and a piece of wood there. And that's what I was obviously working towards. On this side, there's still quite a bit of glue, so I might try and see if I can just knock that off a bit more, because like I say, for sanding that's a pain in the backside. Means I wouldn't be glued. I don't know whether it's going to come off itself or whether it's going to take what it's connected to with it. I think it's going to come up much. Too much of a smooth edge for me to really get into it, and for me to try and get into it I'm going to have to dig, and I don't want to dig. Right, let's put you over there then, we can move on to this one. So this should hopefully be the last piece that's got these dirty edges that we need cleaning off. Obviously I still need to sand that, but I think I get to the whole point. Do I try it? Is it worth me trying to go down there? I don't know. Let's see. I can give it a try. I'm not feeling confident. I think if I needed to I could, but I'm not liking the position it was putting me in. Okay, I'll show you this one closer. So that's how that one's looking at the moment, with all this messy shit on there. Saying that, I had a dream about Messi last night. For some reason, he was at a house party I was at, and he got absolutely fucking hammered, and he kept giving people jewellery. Except me, but I didn't want it anyway. Told you, weird fucking dreams. Now something that I need to work out is, when I come to putting all this back together, excuse me, am I going to glue it? To be honest, I'm thinking no. This is what's been going quite nicely. Been working on one half of it, and hopefully you can see that. So that half, literally, I've taken all the wood off. There's only literally a tiny sliver there, and I can leave that. I can sand that because it is literally a tiny sliver. Whereas when I've been doing the rest of it, it's been more of a chunk that's still there, but that's come off a lot better. Possible that came off a lot better because I came in from the side. There's literally almost nothing there for me to count to. Right, okay, let's see the point of trying that then. So this is on a little bit thicker at the moment. I need to just get into a lip. Try to have that done. this starts digging in to try and get this out, that's when it will cause more damage, but there's still quite a bit on there. Stop moving. Well, that one come off nice and easy. This half a little more tricky here. But again, I mean, this is more than likely from poor application. Well, I know there's been poor applications of glue on this fucking table. Because, for example, I can see where the glue has been applied here, and it's not been evenly applied. It's not over the whole surface. Yeah. There was one thing I was taught not long ago. If you're going to apply glue, then rather than applying it in a blob or a wiggly line, paint it on. At least then, you know, the whole surface is covered in glue, and that's what you want. You've got an even spread of glue. Two surfaces should be touching anyway, so by just adding a blob, you're hoping that it's going to spread nicely. Whereas if you just fucking paint it on, it's already spread nicely. You're not trying to force the glue. So a little bit like where I clamped that piece yesterday to screw it in. If I'd have put glue in there as well, if I hadn't have clamped it, then the gap potentially could have been bigger. And that's probably why they've struggled with this fucking table before. It's because they haven't been able to get clean fits. Against this little fucker here. And here's what I mean, I was mentioning, do I glue this? I'm actually thinking if I do it properly, it doesn't need gluing. Because the screws should do their job. Also, if you glue it too soon, then there's no adjusting it if it needs it. Sweating. Pretty much down to a slither now on there, so I can sand that off. So just turn it around and get that last bit done. Not for long until I run out of memory on the phone. There's the split there that I'm going to need to fix as well. But that one I'm not going to be able to do yet. Mainly because of it's on a screw hole. Glue's playing up a bit. Come back. Push it. See, on this piece, let's show it. This is kind of what I'm on about. In that, okay, on this piece, around this screw hole is a dark area, and around this screw hole is a dark area. They are two thick blobs of glue, but there isn't glue on the fucking rest of it. Now, well, as I say, I would guess that this table is originally probably machine manufactured, but well, there's a lot of excess glue, and yeah, it's. And I know I might sound like I'm frustrated, and I am. I'm frustrated that someone somewhere has done a piss poor fucking job. I know. Could I make a table from scratch? I don't know, maybe, probably, with what I've learned so far. But having said that, joints is the one area that I really need to learn. So I wouldn't be that confident in doing a table until I had worked on some joints. But tidiness of glue and varnish application, that shit's a lot simpler. And that's the stuff that's not been done well on this. So, and the thing is, yeah, I might be sounding frustrated, but it'll just add. It's not frustration at what I've got and what I'm having to deal with. It's frustration at basically. I've always felt that this table has the potential to be an extremely nice looking table. It may have been at one point, and hopefully it fucking will be again. I suppose the frustration does come from other areas as well, in that we live so much in a throwaway culture now. The quality of produce, the quality of production doesn't really seem to matter that much. As long as you can get it cheap in the next day. I'm trying to think. By the time I finish this table, I could say it's taken me since the summer of last year started it then. I didn't do anything on it for until what, February this year. So it would be a bit wrong to say it's going to have taken a year, but we're already into March. We're not far, well, we're halfway through March, so it's already taken me a month. Now, could I have just bought a table and got it next day? Yeah. Would it be better quality than what this is at the moment? Yeah. Would it be better quality than when I finish this table? That's the question. And this is where, for a lot of people, even myself, I've been there, you go, well, I could do it myself, but it'd take fucking ages. I'd just pay someone else to do it and basically just buy the fucking thing. I sound a bit like an old man fucking but I mean, okay. My dad's a bit of a hoarder. He doesn't like to throw anything away. And I get that. He's from a time where if you bought tools that you would expect to last you lots of years. You use them properly, and you look after them properly. And they were fucking made properly. Whereas today, yeah. I don't think some of us fucking people are made properly. Okay, right, well I'm pretty much happy with that as it is. I'm going to need to give them a bit of a sanding, but we've sat here and hammered shit out of them and waffled for a good 45 minutes, so I'm out of memory. So I'm going to take a break for a bit. So on the next video, we will have a look at just giving these areas a bit of a sanding, just to clean them up a little bit, and then we will have a look at which bits, if any, need a bit of a carve. Any bits that need repairing, will probably, like with this crack, I'll wait until I've stripped, because that is going to need gluing. I can't carve that out because of the screw hole, so I'm going to need to be very careful with that. I may even have to screw that back in, screw that in to secure it. We shall see. Yeah, I think I would, because it's lifting, so it wants to peel away rather than pushing back into itself. So it probably would need securing. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we'll be doing on the next one, and then it won't be long. We can start stripping these down, and that bit I'm looking forward to. I want to see what the wood itself looks like, a bit like the legs, where they kind of looked alright, but once I've stripped them, much better. And these will be the same, because of all the different fucking colours, bits missing. Yeah, it looks shit. Right, have a good one everyone, and we'll see you again soon.